Hello, everyone. This is Malik from Malik's Mystical Magic and Intuitive Consultations. I'm currently on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, so the views are a little different, y'all. Bear with me. It's my first time trying it, but I definitely am trying to broaden my horizons here and get the message out a little further reach. So give me a moment here while I pull up my astrology software here and we will get going. Simply, I'm going to be talking about this full moon in Libra that will be exact this Saturday, the 12th. Okay. Hey, Vicky, how you doing, Libra? This is definitely about us Libras here. So I'm going to be speaking about the full moon in Libra, as well as the aspects that this moon will be making along, with the full moon and the energy that will be bringing out, okay? I'm going to make sure if anyone's with me, I don't ignore anyone. Okay, and then I want to go into Libra's ruling planet, which is Venus, as Venus will be ending its retrograde motion on the day that this full moon in Libra will be occurring. Really interesting energy there. And then we'll get into how this will impact your rising signs, okay? You can, of course, look at this from a sun sign, a moon sign, or rising, okay? But the way that I'm looking at it is going to be from your rising signs, okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome, everyone. As you come in, you just say hello or whatever. I'm going to try to pay attention to the screens as well, but I want to kind of get this message out here and not keep us up too late on a Sunday night. But nonetheless, we're here to just kind of explore what this energy is about, understand, what it's activating for us, as well as how to align with this healing and release energy that it is bringing. In addition, we will briefly discuss the aspects that the moon is making and the status of Libra's ruling planet, Venus. Okay. Venus is ending or nearing its end of its retrograde motion, okay, on the day of the full moon. So that will be Saturday, the 12th of April. And so when we talk about the energy of Libra, okay, we're talking about relationships, balance, beauty, art, fairness, and harmony. And so this particular full moon in Libra, which full moons are about release, culminations, things of that nature, it's about, in Libra, releasing codependency or surface level peacekeeping, okay? Realigning with truth and fairness in relationships within self and others, because Libra energy is about the other, okay, as well. And so this is energy also about reclaiming your personal values and sense of inner balance, okay? So I want to just kind of briefly highlight a little bit about the ruling planet, of Libra, which is Venus. Also, Venus rules Taurus as well. Venus has been in an interesting retrograde motion, okay? And so with Venus being the ruler of this lunation, it's not at its full strength now, because she's still emerging from her underworld journey, okay? She started off in retrograde in Aries March 1st. She will be ending that retrograde motion April the 12th, Saturday, the day of this full moon. And also, she transitioned during her retrograde motion from Aries to Pisces. So she's in Pisces now. And the retrograde motion will end, her transition in Pisces will end April 30th, okay? But the retrograde motion will end April 12th. Now, every retrograde has a pre-shadow and a post-shadow, okay? And so for post-shadow with this particular planet, Venus, May 16th is when it's done with its post-shadow phase. So after May 16th, I say Venus is fully direct, fully in effect, okay? But this particular energy of Venus, it gives the full moon a deeper, a raw, more edge to it, okay? It's not about picture perfect balance, but it's about truthful balance, okay? Even if that means conflicts or detachment. Even though the retrograde began in Aries, which that focus was on self-worth, bold love, identity wounds, the final lesson, healing and forward movement, happens in Pisces, which is about compassion, surrender, forgiveness, and spiritual love, okay? So you may notice a desire to connect with yourself before you connect with others, okay? There may be a reevaluation of how much you've given away for the sake of peace. Libras, are known for peacekeeping, but the people pleasing has to stop, okay? If we haven't stopped, it needs to stop. Our spirit is going to guide you towards the energy of that stopping, okay? Also, we may notice some old patterns in love resurfacing for final release, okay? So even though Libra energy, okay, wants everything to kind of look graceful and fair, Venus is still recovering, from her retrograde motion, okay? So Venus is reminding us that we don't owe anyone harmony if it costs our authenticity, okay? So that, I think, is highly important. We definitely have to make sure that we are balanced within self, even if it costs our authenticity. We don't owe anyone anything, okay? Now, this particular full moon in Libra, okay, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? This particular full moon in Libra is about choosing you, okay, in order to create better relationships. And so that retrograde, Venus being in retrograde, that motion from Aries to Pisces kind of shifts the energy from bold to spiritual, from fire to compassion, which is faith, okay? So what I also think is beautiful is that Venus has been kind of retracing the past 8-year cycles of 2017, 2009. And now she is rising, like the morning star, symbolizing rebirth, authenticity, and value clarity. Now, it's important because you might want to look back at themes around Venus during 2017 and even 2009, because this is when Venus did its retrograde motion from Aries to Pisces. What was going on during that time? Because the goal is Venus is doing this 5-petal cycle. I call it 5-star Venus, where it hits your natal chart 5 places every 8 years, okay? There's a cycle. So when Venus is feminine, divine feminine energy, goes retrograde, you're reviewing something that you have previously been in or something similar. So Venus is asking you, are you going to make a change or are you going to repeat the cycle? Okay, so reflect back on 2017 and 2009 when it comes to Venus related things: love, money, beauty, art, creativity, okay? Things of that nature. Justice, fairness, balance, relationships, others, things like that, okay? So I'll get into that later on when I talk about, you know, how Venus does its, you know, same cycles. And what we don't want to do is repeat those same cycles. It's about evolution. So every 8 years, you know, when Venus hits those same spots in your natal chart, you know, you're meant to reflect Venus retrograde, reflect on what it is you don't want to repeat once Venus goes direct, okay? And I hope and pray that you guys have been able to identify, go through your texts, your calendars, pictures of 2017, 2009, kind of get a gauge of that might trigger your memory as to what was going on during those times, okay? And so I thought that if we talk about the full moon and what it's doing during the same time Venus is coming out of retrograde, it's very important to talk about Venus. So let's get into the aspects. So when the full moon is exact on the 12th, there's going to be some aspects that this full moon makes, okay? So the moon in Libra is going to square Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer has been hell on wheels for some who don't know how to utilize the energy in a positive manner, okay? Mars is about assertion, aggression, okay? Cancer, it's emotional, sensitive, okay? Especially around family, things of that nature. So there is this Mars in Libra squaring, Moon in Libra squaring Mars in Cancer that's going to be coming. So that energy there is going to bring some emotional tension, some possible frustration or impulsiveness, okay? And so we just, hello tension on that day, because there's going to be some tension between emotional needs versus action, okay? Mars is the planet of action, okay? I also think we may see some passive aggressive or defensive reactions that could be possible. Be mindful of overreacting. Channel that energy into constructive motion, okay? Rather than getting engaged in some passive aggressive energy. So we could be tested. So just keep aware of the emotional tension that may come about. Also with the impulsiveness of someone's actions. They don't think before they act. So then we'll get into the next aspect, which is moon in Libra, full moon in Libra, which is trining Jupiter in Gemini. Okay, that's good expansive energy. Jupiter expands whatever it touches, okay? So there could be some opportunities for expansion, some optimism, big expansion energy here. Blessings in disguise, emotional expansion. This is also great for healing, forgiveness, and optimism, as I mentioned before. So we really need to be trusting the bigger picture during this time as well. The third aspect that this full moon in Libra will be making would be opposing Aries. That's the opposite energy of the axis. Libra, Aries is that energy axis. First house, seventh house. So Chiron is in Aries right now. The sun is in Aries right now, as it is Aries season, right? So this moon is going to be opposing Chiron in Aries, as well as Chiron is conjunct the sun. Okay, so we got that healing energy. Okay, Chiron is the wounded warrior. Okay, and so we could experience some emotional vulnerability that could be met with some deep healing. Okay, this is giving me that deep healing vibe. The focus is on the wound, right? The moon is the feeling about that wound, okay? And being optimistic and, having that clarity because the sun is there. I say definitely you might feel emotional, inspired, or even triggered, but it's all pointing you back to balance, okay? Clarity and peace within. So there could be a spotlight on wounds around self versus others, because we're dealing with Libra energy here. So we could be healing old relational patterns, okay? But we first have to feel it to free it, okay? So those are the aspects that the moon is making, this full moon is making to these other planets, okay? Now, let's get further on, because I want to talk about the Sabian symbol. Now, the Sabian symbol is just another layer of meaning, because astrology is so vast. It's so large in its meanings, that I always like to dig deep, okay? So this particular full moon will be exact at 20 degrees, 22 minutes, okay? So when we look at Sabian symbols, we round up. So we're looking at 21 degrees of Libra. And so 21 degrees of Libra, the Sabian symbol for that is a crowd upon the beach, okay? And so, of course, we know everything is symbolic, okay, and poetic, but there's a deeper meaning to this version, or this symbol, a Sabian symbol, a crowd upon a beach. And so this degree, 21 degrees of Libra, evokes a strong image of gathering, unity, and emotional resonance in a shared space, the beach, which symbolizes the meeting point, okay, of the unconscious, which is the ocean, and the conscious, which is the land, okay? The crowd in that terminology suggests both collective energy and individual vulnerability in an emotionally charged setting, okay? So I like to go deeper, okay? So as someone with multiple planets in Libra, you know, my takeaway interpretation just kind of signifies the following. I took this from that. There's a collective release or healing that is taking place, like everyone standing at the edge of something bigger than themselves, okay? This here, it's a symbol of human connection, emotional mirroring, and also social energy, you know, that fits beautifully with this Libra's relational themes, okay? It can also imply the desire for emotional renewal, okay, or spiritual cleansing as people gather at the water's edge, okay? As well, in short, you know, the Sabian symbol here reminds us that we're all processing, healing, and seeking truth together, okay? Standing at the shoreline of deep emotional waters, okay? This moon invites us to gather, reflect, and release in unity, not in isolation, okay? It's a time to honor the shared human experience of balance and love, fairness, and authenticity, okay? That's kind of what I took from it. Poetic in a sense, but I like to really think about this Sabian symbol and this meaning, do my research, and then come to my own summation, okay? You may interpret something different from it, but this is kind of what it means, a crowd upon the beach. Okay, now rituals. I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I'm going to highlight a few rituals that you could, you know, get engaged in, as well as some stones that you can use around you in intention setting and in your individual manifestation rituals. Okay, so ritual ideas, you know, for this Libra full moon, cleanse and release. Okay, and so if you want to do that, I would say journaling, you know, and the journal prompt could be, what relationships or patterns, you know, are you ready to release right now? Write that down, okay? Burn that letter, water, okay, that paper in the ethers. Write you some affirmations, you know, of peace and balance, okay, and speak that into your daily world or your daily life. That could be your cleanse and release ritual. You can do a beauty and a balance altar work ritual, you know, which I love to do for my altar, my ancestors. Decorate your altar with roses, blue lace agate, pink candles, feathers, or copper. Offer water for emotional cleansing, and moonstone for intuition. My altar is full of all of that and above, and I'm trying to think about what sweet treat can I offer as I do my beauty and balance altar work, okay? I'm a Libra, so I'm going to take very good timing of this moment here, okay? And then you might want to do some mirror work, you know, where you speak affirmations of fairness, love, and self-worth aloud, you know, in the mirror to yourself. Because, you know, we're working with Libra Venus energy, right? Love, money, beauty. Self-love definitely is key as well. So we want to just, you know, that could be mirror work that we want to do, is speaking affirmations out loud. And then if you want to do water rituals, a normal, a lovely Libra water ritual, okay, I would say soak in, you know, what you would, a Libra, you know, would utilize to soothe their energy. Rose petals, lavender, Himalayan salt, the pink salt, okay? Or ylang ylang could be like the candle or the incense or the herbs that you burn. So you can do that, you know, with regards to rituals. Now, when it comes to stones, okay, always keep a moonstone, okay, because that's going to help with emotional balance, divine feminine connection. Lapidolite, if you have one, that relieves tension, calms the nervous system. Blue lace agate, that aids in peaceful communication. Rose quartz, which is that heart healing, love and self-love and self-kindness, you know. And then selenite, which cleanses aura, okay, and connects to your higher self. So those are some good stones to utilize during this time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into what this spiritual forecast of this full moon in Libra will be doing for each of these rising signs. Which house it will be activating, in addition to me sharing what this could be playing out with you in your life, area of life, for your all 12 rising signs. You can look at this for your moon sign, your sun sign as well. Some people I know have resonated on all three placements throughout that particular astrological forecast. Okay, so not only am I going to share with you where this is going to be playing out in your chart with regards to the full moon, but also the moon aspects, those three moon aspects. That is the sun conjunct Chiron, okay? That it's going to be, that's a transit there that the moon will be impacting. The moon will be squaring Mars. The moon will trine Jupiter, and also Venus is going direct in Pisces. So I'm just going to give you the house, a little bit of energy theme-wise. What I encourage each one of you all to do, if you don't have the 12 wheel, astrological wheel that provides you the meanings of each house, this will help you, because even though I'm giving, you know, I'm giving you the house, which is the key. Okay, the themes I'm looking at with relation to the other aspects that are going on for your rising signs. This is my interpretation of what I see. Okay, now I can tell you that I do apologize. I didn't come out here on the solar eclipse in Aries. Okay, because the lunar eclipse in Virgo, my moon is in Virgo, my Venus in Virgo, that directly impacted me to the T, okay? The Virgo moon eclipse came in at 22 degrees, hit my Virgo moon, which sits at 21 degrees. So it took a sister off the rocker for a little longer than expected, okay? All is well, all is well, I'm back. Okay, but I had to come show up for us Libras and, you know, share what we're all going to be embodying as a collective as well as, you know, individually. So without further ado, let's start it off with the first zodiac, Aries, as this is their new astrological year. This is their new season that we're in. So happy birthday to you, Aries, or solar's return, so to speak. And this is really not your birthday because your sun is your birthday. But nonetheless, this is about Aries right now, okay? This moon is activating your 7th house, okay? Okay, because you're the first house, Aries, right? And Libra is the 7th house, which is the energy axis that you two share, okay? So it's activating your 7th house of one-on-one relationships, partnerships, the other, clients, okay? Seen enemies, okay? And so contracts and how you show up for others. So this is that, you know, full moon is going to be activating that. Now the transits, this Chiron and conjunct the sun is going to be in your 1st house. So you're healing your identity wounds, maybe perhaps how others see you versus how you feel inside. With the moon squaring the Mars, Aries rising, that's occurring in your 4th house. So there may be some family tension or some emotional pressure that may lead to reactive energy. So you really got to be careful when dealing with family tension or emotional pressure, okay? Also, moon trine Jupiter will be occurring in your 12th house, Aries rising. That's some deep spiritual release right there. That could be possible. Also, some secrets may come to light gently, okay? So that's for you. Now with this Venus going direct in Pisces for you, Aries rising, that is also your 12th house, okay? So that is going to be offering you some spiritual healing, some closure of some karmic relationship cycles, some intuitive self-love, forgiveness, retreat, and surrender to divine timing in love, okay? So this full moon and the transits along with Venus, the impact that this could have on you, Aries rising, is this lunation, you know, may bring a make or break moment in partnerships for you. You're being shown who sees you, who doesn't see you, and where you've compromised your authenticity, okay? You're healing people pleasing that is perhaps rooted in fear of abandonment, okay? So you want to let your truth rise, Aries rising, even if it changes the relational dynamic, okay? Saying your truth. Now, let's go ahead and go to Taurus rising. Taurus rising, this moon would be activating your 6th house of health, daily routines, work environment, boundaries of service, okay? Now, this Chiron conjunct sun will be occurring in your 12th house, Taurus rising. So you're purging some deeply rooted shame, guilt, or unconscious fears about being enough, okay? With this moon squaring Mars, that is occurring in your 3rd house. There could be some stressful communications or some mental loops that could trigger your anxiety. So you want to keep that in the back of your mind. With moon in Libra, full moon in Libra, trining Jupiter in Gemini, okay, that is going to be occurring for you in your 11th house, Taurus rising. So this could be help that comes from your community, your associations, your social circle. So you might want to lean into trusted allies and healing groups around this time, okay? And so for you as well, with regards to Venus, for you, Taurus rising, this is also going direct in your 11th house as well. So there could be some rekindling, soul-aligned friendships, reevaluating your future vision. You could also be attracting supportive community associations. You also could be releasing some outdated social dynamics. So this full moon and these aspects and Venus going direct impact on you, Taurus rising, it's basically saying that it's time to release habits that is draining your energy and rework your schedule with love, okay? Boundaries it's going to be your medicine during this time. If work or caretaking roles are misaligned, this full moon in Libra will show you how it's impacting your emotional and physical health. Okay? And so we'll go on to Gemini rising. Gemini rising, this full moon in Libra will be activating your 5th house of creative expression, romance, children, your inner child healing, okay? The transits that this full moon will be making, the Chiron conjunct the sun will be in your 11th house of that could be wounds around friendships and feeling seen within community, may surface. You might have some feelings that come up around the wounds associated with friends, or, feeling seen within your group, your social group or your community, okay? Now, with this moon squaring Mars, Gemini rising, this will occur in your 2nd house. So there may be some tension between your values versus your external validation, okay? With the moon trining Jupiter, is going to be occurring in your 10th house, Gemini rising. So there may be some soul work or public platform that can be used as an outlet for healing and visibility, okay? Now with Venus going direct, that's also in your 10th house. So your career and public image that's connected to feminine, artistic, or spiritual gifts, that could occur. Realigning your professional desires with your heart's truth. I like that. Okay. So this full moon and these aspects that this moon will make, as well as Venus going direct, the impact this could have on you, Gemini rising, is this moon is really asking you, are you truly expressing yourself, or are you performing for approval? Okay. Expect clarity around creative pursuits, lovers, or even your relationships with joy itself. There may be some healing that happens through accepting your worth outside of others' opinions, okay? So this overall energy, I think, is really good for you, Gemini risings, okay? Next, we'll go to Cancer risings. Cancer risings, this full moon in Libra will be activating your 4th house of home, emotional security, family roots, ancestral patterns. So the transits that this moon will make with the Chiron conjunct the sun, that's going to occur in your 10th house. There may be some healing around visibility, legacy, or parental expectations may be rising, okay? With the moon squaring Mars, that's in your 1st house, because Mars is in Cancer, okay? And so you're more emotionally reactive right now. So you really want to watch for projecting your pain onto others. With this moon trine in Jupiter, that is occurring in your 9th house. There's some higher wisdom, spirituality, or travel offers that emotional relief that you may need right now at this time, okay? So that's good. Now with Venus, that's also going to go direct in your 9th house, which is expanding your spirituality through love and belief, okay? Falling in love with life again is possible for you. Learning or teaching spiritual truths, or even long distance connections may come into play. Now this overall impact of this moon, these aspects, and Venus going direct for you, Cancer rising, is this full moon can be deeply emotional. Family wounds or generational imbalances come to the surface for you to release. You're being called to define what home really means to you, both physically and energetically, okay? So you want to let your needs take up space, okay? Let your needs take up space. And now we'll go on to Leo rising. Leo rising, this full moon in Libra is activating your third house of communication, mindset, as well as learning, siblings, and your voice. Okay. Now, the transits that are occurring during the same time will be Chiron conjunct the Sun. That will occur in your ninth house, Leo rising. So there is some healing in your beliefs. So you might want to ask yourself, are you walking your truth or stuck in old teachings? Okay. The transits that are occurring with Chiron conjunct the Sun, that's also, that's going to be in your ninth house. So there's some healing in your beliefs. You might want to ask yourself, are you walking your truth or stuck in old teachings? Okay. With the moon squaring Mars, that is occurring in your 12th house, Leo rising. So there could be some inner frustrations that may surface as passive aggression or mental spirals. So you want to keep a lookout for that. Now, the moon trining Jupiter is occurring in your 8th house. So there's some emotional magician work there, some emotional alchemy that you have, some possible therapy or sacred intimacy. And for some reason, tantric come to my mind, kundalini come to my mind, but that can shift your energy right there, okay? 8th house, you guys look into what that means and you understand why I said what I said. Now, for you Leo risings, Venus is going direct in your 8th house as well. So like I say, deep soul healing around intimacy, trust, emotional merging, shared finances, psychic and sensual awakening could be possible for your Leo risings, okay? So I would say this particular full moon, the aspects in Venus and Pisces impact for you Leo risings is your thoughts really shape your reality. That happens for all of us, but for you, it's really profound now. This full moon is exposing limiting stories or conditioned language that you've absorbed, okay? Expect revelations around dreams, messages, and synchronicities. You're being invited to speak your truth boldly, you know, and soften your inner dialogue, okay? So we'll go on to Virgo rising. Virgo rising, this full moon is activating your 2nd house of self-worth, earnable income, stability, and what you value, okay? So with the transits here, with Chiron conjunct the Sun, that is occurring in your 8th house. So I would say emotional wounds around betrayal, loss, shared resources that surface for healing, okay? With the moon squaring Mars, that's occurring in your 11th house. So that is some potential conflict with friends or social networks. Could really test your gangster or your self-esteem, okay? And so with the moon trining Jupiter, that is occurring in the 7th house. So a healthy relationship may help remind you of your worth, okay? Now, Venus also going direct in Pisces in your 7th house. And so that's probably bringing you some romantic partnerships, rebalancing of that energy, some clarity that returns in relationship contracts. This is that soulmate energy that could potentially resurface or deepen in a spiritual way, okay? And so this overall impact that this astrological energy I'm speaking of could bring you, Virgo rising, is money matters could come up to a head, okay? What you pay versus what you're worth, okay? The deeper issue is value alignment, okay? And you might be reassessing or releasing that scarcity mindset and affirming your deservingness. Okay. So definitely for you Virgo risings, I think it's time definitely to stop settling for less, whether it's financially or emotionally. Okay. You are worthy. You are worthy. Okay. Now let's go to Libra risings. This is all about you, Libra rising. That this is your full moon in Libra. So it's activating your 1st house of your identity, your self-perception, your life path, okay? Your outer identity, okay? Your personality traits. And so with the transits, though, with the Chiron conjunct the Sun occurring in your 7th house, Aries, old wounds around relationships and being chosen comes to the surface, okay? With Moon square Mars energy, that's occurring in your 10th house. So the professional or public roles may feel like pressure cookers, okay? And with the Moon trine in Jupiter, that is occurring in your 6th house. So maybe there's a new self-care routine or health focus that can restore your inner balance, okay? Now, your ruling planet Venus going direct in Pisces is in your 6th house. So there could be some healing through work and service. You could be reassessing your routines. You could be attracting peace into your daily life, okay, as well as spiritualizing your wellness practice, okay. So this impact for you, Libra, this full moon in Libra is a full circle moment for you. You're releasing a version of yourself that's been performative or overly polished to be liked and accepted. You're being called to redefine what balance means. It's going to be less about perfection and more about realness, okay? So rebirth is here for us, Libra risings. Now let's go to Scorpio rising. Scorpio risings, this full moon in Libra will be activating your 12th house, house of the subconscious, closure, retreat, hidden grief, hidden enemies, spiritual healing, okay? And so with you, Scorpio risings, the Chiron conjunct the Sun energy is occurring in your 6th house. So this is about health or service patterns rooted in victimhood or martyrdom that may come up for you for a review. Okay, you might be wondering, am I, being played? Am I being a victim? So that could potentially come up around 6th house matters. With the moon squaring Mars, that's going to occur in your 9th house. So there could be some possible spiritual or moral conflicts. So you want to be mindful of overexerting your belief unto others, okay? Now, with the moon trine in Jupiter, that's occurring in your 5th house. So that could definitely be creativity and play that could be restoring your emotional energy, okay? That's good, okay? With trines are good energy. Trines are supportive energy, okay? Square is a little tense. Conjunction is power, okay? Depending on whatever planets are conjunct. So for your moon trine in Jupiter, so definitely creativity, play, things like that, pleasure, entertainment, could definitely restore your emotional energy. Now, Venus will be going direct in your 5th house, which is good because that kind of amplifies that creativity. Also, romantic healing too. So there's a return to joy for you. Scorpio risings, some softness, some playfulness, some artistic inspiration, and really some heart chakra awakening for you. So that's good. So the overall impact that all of this will have for you, Scorpio risings, is you're purging old guilt and grief that's been sitting in the background for a while, and so this is a powerful moon for cord cutting, forgiveness, and past life healing, okay? For you, solitude is sacred right now. Listening to self, getting downloads, inner guidance, okay? Rest and release and let your higher self guide you during this time, okay? So that's for you, Scorpio risings. Now, Sagittarius risings, this full moon is activating your 11th house of community, network, friends, associations, purpose, future dreams, okay? This Chiron conjunct the sun is occurring in your 5th house, okay? So old heartbreak or wounds around being overlooked creatively are being healed. So, you know, if you did something creatively, you were overlooked, that energy could come back around because the moon will be activating that house for you. Okay? Now, with the next transit, moon squaring Mars, that's going to be in your 8th house. So there could be some deep emotions or financial entanglements that may cause drama. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Maybe a little drama around 8th house topics. So the houses are keys, okay? So you really want to know, you got your natal chart. This is the house where this is going to activate. These are the themes that are within this house, okay? So with the moon, moon trining Jupiter for you, that's activating your 4th house. That's going to be in your 4th house. Grounding in the home, family, or tradition that can anchor your goals. Okay, so definitely grounding yourself within your home, your family, or the family tradition. Okay, could get your goals anchored. Also, Venus also will be going direct in your 4th house, which is amplifying that. So there could be some emotional security and some home life illuminated there, okay, around the emotional security. Healing family patterns could occur. Reconnecting with your ancestral roots or your soul family energy, soul tribe energy. That could be very, very possible during this time. So the overall impact for you, Sagittarius risings, is you may question who truly is in your corner. You know what I'm saying? This full moon highlights friendships or networks where you've dimmed your light. So you might want to release outdated group dynamics and realign with your long-term vision. Because there are true allies that are waiting for you, okay? This is Sagittarius rising. So Capricorn rising, this full moon is activating your 10th house of career, reputation, leadership, your life direction, your public image, okay? Your exposure, your visibility, okay? So that's good to know, okay? Take that Libra energy, take it to the house. Balance, harmony, okay? What does Libra stand for? I just went through all of that. I'm guiding you to the house now and where this takes place, Capricorn rising. So now with the Chiron conjunct the sun for you, that's in your 4th house. So family wounds or insecurities may affect your career decisions, okay? With this moon, I'm sorry. That's true for you, but I'm looking at the 4th house, okay? So the family wounds are insecurities about belongings or being healed. You know, do you belong in that family? You're feeling, you may be feeling wounds around that, family wounds. Okay, now with the moon squaring Mars, that's in your 7th house. So that's where the power struggles and partnerships that may affect your career decisions, okay? And then with the moon trine and Jupiter, that's in your 3rd house. So you might want to use your voice, teaching, writing, or speaking, because I think that's going to uplift others. Venus also is going to be going direct in your 3rd house. So this communication could be loving, healing, sibling or neighbor relationships, softer self-talk, writing, poetry, and divinely inspired messages, okay? Capricorn rising. Now, this overall impact for you with all of these astro aspects going on, this full moon, this full moon is about shedding titles, roles, or expectations that just doesn't match your spirit, you know? You might seek career clarity, that comes through emotional honesty, okay? Am I happy here? Hey, how y'all doing? Am I happy here? Okay. You might have to be honest with yourself, okay? So, I definitely think that you will be releasing the pressure to do it all and allow your soul's purpose to lead and guide you. So that I think is beautiful, Capricorn rising. So let's get to Aquarius rising, and then we'll wrap up with Pisces rising. So Aquarius rising, this full moon in Libra is activating your ninth house of wisdom, travel, expansion, truth seeking, okay? With this Chiron conjunct the sun, that will occur in your third house. So your voice and truth are healing tools. So do not doubt them right now, Aquarius risings, okay? Moon squaring Mars will occur in your sixth house. Overwork or health stress may hinder spiritual clarity. So make sure you do not overexert yourself or stress, because that affects the mind. The mind affects the body, okay? They work in tandem with each other. So with the moon trine Jupiter for you, Aquarius rising, that's occurring in your second house. So your values are evolving. You really want to trust them, okay? Venus also is going to be going direct, okay, in your second house. So it's about self-worth. You're going through a rebirth around, how you value yourself. There could definitely be some emotional value realignment that occurs within, some income through healing, beauty, or spiritual paths. You also may be reconnecting to what makes you feel worthy, okay? Now, the overall impact for you, Aquarius rising, is the world is opening up for you, okay? But you really must release outdated philosophies or the fear of being wrong, okay? Because the motto for Aquarius is I know, okay? And sometimes you may have experienced moments where you didn't know, okay? So allow yourself to acknowledge that you were wrong, okay? Release whatever outdated philosophy you felt was right as times are changing, okay? So I definitely think this is a beautiful time to return to spiritual studies, and take that leap of faith as you are representative of the Fool card in the tarot deck. So this is about you taking that leap of faith because I think your soul is craving truth. And it's coming through aligned action, okay? When we deal with Libra energy, Libra is a modality of a cardinal energy. Cardinal energy initiates, takes action. What are the cardinal signs? Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer. Okay, so we normally have to initiate, take that leap of faith, okay? To get things done, or to align ourselves with our higher purpose, our life path, our journey, or our manifestation rituals, whatever that may be for you. So we'll wrap it up. Last zodiac, but not taking your value away. Okay, Pisces risings, where are you? This full moon here is activating your 8th house of intimacy, shadow work, shared resources, and transformation. Okay, with Chiron conjunct the sun, that is occurring in your 2nd house. So there could be some deep self-worth healing that is being catalyzed through financial or emotional exchanges. With the moon squaring Mars, that's going to be occurring in your 5th house. So some romantic or creative tension could trigger some past insecurities. With the moon trine Jupiter, that's occurring in your 1st house. You're supported, in this rebirth for this new version of you, okay? Because the 1st house is about yourself, your identity, you. And so Venus is going to be going direct there in your 1st house. So I would say this is a total heart-centered rebirth for you, Pisces rising, okay? Venus is in your sign. That is going to bring that magnetism, that beauty, and a new chapter in love. Creativity as well, and personal presence. So the overall impact for you, Pisces rising, is expect emotional intensity. Okay? Something needs to be released. Maybe a toxic tie, a fear of vulnerability, or buried grief. But what follows after you have been able to release all of that is rebirth. Okay? So this full moon in Libra is going to teach you that true power is found in letting go and allowing your intuition to guide you and lead the way. Okay? So I think that is beautiful for you. So I think that is it. In closing, I thank you all for joining. I thank you all for listening. I hope and pray that this brings insight and, guidance for you. I definitely feel like this full moon in Libra is going to help us release relationships, expectations, and identities that no longer reflect who we truly are and are becoming. Okay? This is a good time for journaling, reflecting, resting, and trusting your inner compass. Okay? If you need deeper insights, of course, as an astrologer, a numerologist, a tarot reader, healing stone creator, jewelry maker, you guys know how to reach me for a personal reading, whether it's astrology or tarot. Okay? So I'm going to leave us all with this powerful affirmation for the collective, which is, I honor my truth. Okay? I release with grace. I rise into balance. And Libra gang. Okay? So with that said, if you don't have any questions, thank you so much for listening to this astrological update. You guys know how to reach me. Now let me figure out how I can connect all of my social media apps to this video. Okay? As above, so below. As within, so without. Okay? Ashe. And peace be to each and every one of you. Bye-bye.